Lalitha, good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
So please introduce yourself fully, tell us about your work, and please tell us a story.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Warm greetings to one and all. My name is Lalitha Thilak. I am from Chennai. I have my own venture called Speak Through Stories, and I conduct weekend storytelling sessions for children. I enjoy narrating a variety of stories, but I particularly like narrating Indian mythology stories. And this morning, I am going to narrate a story from Indian mythology. So here I go. Kshirapikshayana Narayana Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Shrita Jana Paripala Narayana Hari Om Namaste. My name is Narada. I am a Deva Rishi or a divine sage, the Manasaputra or the mind son of Lord Brahma, the creator himself. I am known as Trailokya Sanchari, a person who can travel across all the three worlds. The Devaloka, the world of the gods, the Manushya-loka, the world of the humans, and the Patala-loka, the world of the Asuras or the demons. There are some who call me Kalahapriya or mischief monger, but Narayana, I just like to maintain diplomatic relations with one and all. Coming to the main point, the very purpose of my existence is Lord Vishnu, the protector. Day in and day out, I keep chanting his holy name, Narayana, Narayana. I travel to all the three worlds, spreading his glorious name, singing songs in his praise, and encouraging others to follow his path. Which is why one and all, from all the three worlds, they call me the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. Narayana, how nice that sounds to the ears. But does Lord Vishnu himself consider me his greatest devotee? I decided to visit the Lord and ask this question. Off I went to Vaikuntham, the abode of Lord Vishnu under the milky white ocean. I reached Vaikuntham. I saw the Lord lying splendidly on the magnificent Adisesha snake with goddess Mahalakshmi at his feet with full glory and beauty. I bowed my head respectfully and I said, Narayana, Narayana. The Lord opened his eyes, smiled, and said, Narada, welcome. What brings you here today? I immediately replied, Lord, do I need a reason to visit and have your divine darshan? But yes, today I have come with a question for you, my Lord. The Lord gave me an all-knowing smile. Narayana, he is the all-knowing one. He asked me, tell me, Narada, what is it that you want to ask me today? I told, Lord, you know, I travel to all the three worlds, singing songs in your praise, chanting your holy name, and encouraging everybody to follow your path. Now, tell me, Lord, whom do you think is your greatest devotee? The Lord smiled at me, and me, I was eagerly waiting to hear my name from the Lord's mouth. The Lord told me, Narada, if you want to know who is my greatest devotee, it is Tirumalai, a poor farmer in a remote village. What? Tirumalai, a poor farmer in a remote village, the greatest devotee of Lord? I was shocked. I was disappointed. The Lord, he saw the disappointment and shock in my face. And he told me, let me show you, Narada. And whoosh, in a moment, from Vaikuntham, both of us, the Lord and myself, turned into normal travelers, and we were outside a small hut in a village. As you know, it was Thirumalai's hut. It was late evening. This Thirumalai farmer, he was returning home. He looked so tired. He looked so dull. I think he had a hard day's work. But the moment he saw us, he broke into a smile and he said, welcome, brothers, welcome. How may I help you? The Lord, he looked at Thirumalai and said, brother, we are travelers from the nearby village. We have to reach town, but it's already dark and it's not safe to cross the jungle. Can we stay at your place tonight? And we are also very hungry, brother. This Thirumalai, he welcomed us so warmly. He said, please welcome, please come. And we, the Lord and myself, we had to bend our head, get into the tiny hut, and we were in the small living room. I was following this Thirumalai's every movement and word. Let me see how many times he takes the Lord's name. But he went to the tiny kitchen and he said, Sushila, we have guests at home. Can you prepare some food? They are hungry. I strained my ears to hear what the wife would say. Achacho, I just finished cooking and it's just for the four of us. For you, me and our two children. And there are no provisions to cook for extra people. Thirumalai told, it's okay, Sushila. Guests are more important. We'll sacrifice our share of food and we'll give it to our guests. Yes, I'll set 2 plates and I'll give it to you. You can give it to the guests, said Sushila. So this Sushila set 2 plates and Thirumalai got it for us in the small living room. He laid out the only mat. He made us sit comfortably. He kept the plate in front of us. It was a very simple meal of rice, dal or lentils and vegetable. But the Lord, he was eating with full relish. And Thirumalai was so happy to see the Lord eating so well. But me, yes, I was eating, but I was still looking at Thirumalai, waiting to see when he is going to pray, when he is going to take Lord's name. The Lord finished eating and he told Thirumalai, brother, I'm still hungry. Is there some more food left? Thirumalai immediately said, wait, brother, I shall go. And he went to the kitchen. He said, Sushila, I wanted to hear what the wife would say. Sushila, the guests, they're still hungry. Is there more food left? Oh, but the remaining food is for. And just then, 2 little children came from the entrance and went to the tiny kitchen and they said, Amma, we are hungry. Can we have some food? Now this wife, she took her children aside and she said, shh, children, we have guests at home. Be quiet. And she told them, children, do you remember I taught you all? Atiti Devo Bhava. We should treat our guests like gods. Today, one day, can you all adjust? The guests need more food. So please drink some water and sleep, children. Now, I was waiting for some commotion and from crying from the kitchen. But imagine my surprise. These 2 children just nodded their head and said, okay, Amma. And they went to the corner of the kitchen to play with their tiny pebbles. And Thirumalai, he got the remaining food. The Lord ate heartily. And we finished our meal. Thirumalai cleaned the place. He got the only blanket in the hut. He laid it on the mat. And he said, please make yourself comfortable. And he, along with his wife and children, were leaving the hut to sleep in the veranda. Now, I was still waiting. And finally, Thirumalai, he took a glass of water from the pot. He drank it and said, Hari Om. At last, he had at least uttered Lord's name once. We slept the night peacefully. The next morning, we woke up. And me, I was still waiting. What has made this person Lord's best devotee? I have to see whether he's going to do some puja, whether he's going to tell Lord's name. I have to see. But Thirumalai, he just went about his usual chores. He was sweeping, he cut firewood for his wife, he was cleaning, then he packed up his work things. He came to us and he said, brothers, I'm leaving for work. If you all need anything, please ask my wife. But the Lord said, thank you, Thirumalai. Thank you for your hospitality, but we also have to leave now. And this Thirumalai, before setting out to work, he drank a glass of water. And finally, he said, Hari Om, and left. Now the Lord and myself set out, but me, I just couldn't wait anymore. And I had to tell, Lord, I counted. Since last evening, this person whom you call as your greatest devotee, he uttered your name only twice, Lord, only twice. Last night, before sleeping, he said Hari Om. And this morning, before setting out to work, he said the same thing. But Lord, how can you call him your greatest devotee? The Lord, he smiled at me and he said, Narada, can you do a work for me? And I was like, oh, yes, Lord. Just tell me, your wish is my command. Tell me what I have to do. Lord immediately gave me a pot full of oil. It was up to the brim. And he told me, Narada, can you lift this pot in your head and look at that steep hill far away? Can you go up that hill and come down the hill without spilling a drop of oil from the pot? Me, I was more than happy to oblige. And I said, Lord, I shall do it for you. I will definitely prove myself. And I kept the pot on my head and I set out for my journey. And me, I knew I had to prove it. So I started taking small steps. I kept thinking, yes, I have to do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes. And slowly I took steps and I climbed up the mountain and not a drop of oil spilled. The same way, during my return journey, I was so careful. I had to balance my veena, I had to balance the pot, and I was like, Narada, yes, Narada can do it. Narada, I have to win this. Yes. I kept encouraging myself and I said, no, I can do it. And I kept taking small steps and I finally returned. And you know what? Not a drop of oil spilled. I went to the Lord and I said, Lord, I went uphill, downhill, not a drop of oil spilled. Lord, I won. The Lord looked at me and asked, Narada, when you went uphill and downhill, carrying this pot of oil, how many times did you utter my name? I was stumped. But yes, I immediately told the Lord, Lord, how can you ask me such a question? First of all, you give me this full pot up to the brim with oil. Then you want to balance it on my head. And then you want me to go up that steep hill and come down without spilling a drop. And how do you expect me to remember to utter your name, Lord? Come on, Lord. Now the Lord looked at me and said, Narada, the life Thirumalai is leading is a life I have given him. It is a life full of hardships. Day in and day out, he has to work hard to support his family and keep them happy. But in spite of that, he takes time to utter my name 2 or twice a day at least. But you, when I give you the simple task, how many times have you uttered my name? I was truly humbled. That day, I had the greatest realization of my life. And that was, if one does one's karma or duty, following one's dharma or principles, without ever forgetting to remember the supreme power, that itself is greatest devotion. I was truly transformed. Ksheerabdikshayana Narayana Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana. Hari Om, Namaste.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric.
Lalitha, Ambuja here. First of all, I'm sorry I couldn't switch on my video. I loved your story. And one main thing I want to appreciate is narrating a story in first person, staying in the character, not moving away even a bit is not an easy task. And you did it really so very well. Like you were Narada throughout, neat visuals, and I loved the way you took the story. The flow was seamless. And this is one story which I always, it's very close to my heart. Thank you so much for that, sharing that lovely story, Lalitha.
Thank you so much, Ambuja. Thank you.
I kept waiting for him to gosh, I'm lost for words here, to recognize the hospitality despite the hardships. So I expected him to grant the family, the farmer and his wife, something in return for that hospitality despite the hardship. So that was a little different than I expected.
Actually, this story is where the Lord is trying to tell Narada. I mean, the Narada was very proud because he thought he was the Lord's greatest devotee. So he just wanted to teach Narada that, devotion doesn't come just by uttering the Lord's name. It comes when one does the duty too.
Right. Yes, yes. Thank you. It's a lovely story.
Thank you.
May I?
Go ahead.
Lalitha, that was a superb performance. You came dressed as Narada, you were Narada, you even had those two little things. I mean, you really transported us right through Narada's journey. Fantastic performance. I love the story. Yes, like all of us said, we have heard the story, different versions of it. But this version was really, really good. I totally enjoyed the performance, Lalitha.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Renu. Actually, the reason I chose this story, if I may share, is that we have many ways of reaching out to God, but personally, I relate more to the farmer. Actually, I come from a joint family and I have a lot of responsibilities. So I really don't have the luxury to sit and perform an elaborate puja or, most of my chanting of shlokas takes place when I'm cooking or when I'm cleaning or I'm doing the clothes. So somewhere I always love this story, and I just know that if we are just sincere in your duty, that's enough. That's more than enough. So thank you so much, Eric, for giving me this platform to narrate this story. And thank you everybody for listening to it.
Thank you. Rachel, did you want to say?
I just wanted to say quickly that coming from the other side of the world, I had not heard this story and I found it really moving. It was a new message for me. The principle is certainly not a foreign one, but to hear it this way and to hear it so well told really moved me. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
Wonderful.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Lalita. This is Leena here.
Hello, Leena.
Hi. Actually, even though being Indian, I have trouble staying with mythological stories. I know all these characters, but I get very confused as to who did what was the plot. But I could stick to your story and I really loved it. Also, what came to my mind, and this touch bases with what Rona suggested, is like we have to do good things because somewhere in our heart we know that it is a good thing to do. But if we do good and expect that we'll get rewarded for the good, if we get rewarded, then our belief is confirmed that I will do good only if I'm rewarded. Second, if I am not rewarded, I get so disappointed. I did good and still I wasn't rewarded. So why should I do good? So either ways, sticking to what I may get out of it does not help us. So, what you concluded, how you concluded, karma, dharma, and devotion. Doing something for the sake of doing it, knowing in our heart that it is a good thing to do. And that is actually keeps us good, yet keeps us free. So very, very nice story. Thank you for sharing that. Congratulations.
Thank you, Leena. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena. Very well put. Okay, thank you, Lalitha.
Thank you, Eric.
Wonderful story. And